Chess One on Monday, May 9, 2016. Your midday video for members of the Market Chess subscription services, intraday ideas and analysis. A little bit of a slow morning in the tape. S&P 500 index daily time frame. You can see a little bit of mild, let's call it, follow through higher after Friday's reversal. We know we've been kind of drifting in recent weeks off those April highs, 2111, which are still making lower highs going back to last summer, but still this recent pullback, this right here, the last couple weeks, bears really needed to get the downside energy going. And called it in the morning blog post a leisurely kind of pullback and performance by bears. We definitely need to see, I would say, more bear claws, for lack of a better phrase, come out. I mean, aggressive move back below 2045 to get really bearish. As much as I'd like to go short board and GM, they were at session lows. You get a lot of this. You can see they're well off the session lows now. Same with Win, same with Sands. As much as I'd like to, really hit these guys with size on the short side, the reality is you can't, pardon me here, you can't make a market that's not there, in other words. So even though they were pushing morning lows earlier, and they look like they could easily have washed out, as a whole in the broad market, we're just not seeing those bear claws really stick. I mean, IWM is a perfect example of this. Small cap ETF, still below 113, the lower light blue line here, that broken range, but you would think that purple line here, the 111.30 area, would act as really stiff resistance, maybe start the next leg down. Not to be just yet. I mean, we're up 0.7%. That's a decent showing by small caps into midday. So I'm laying off the short side for now. That's the bottom line. Look at XBI, small mid-cap biotechs, and look, is this chart beautiful? Is it a Picasso? Absolutely not. Look at the monthly chart. This thing still could crack, but not meant to be right now. And I think the Johnny come lately shorts, because this thing is squeezing 4% today. You can see that's why we have our Bollinger Band short-term oversold. At a minimum, you don't use it as the magic potion, the holy grail, this, that, and the other thing. You use it as a tool, technical analysis, to effectively manage risk. You say, look, can this thing crash? Sure. But right now, XBI, small mid-cap biotech, is riding along lower Bollinger Band, short-term oversold. So I don't want to get caught squeezed short, if that makes sense. Now, does that mean it's beautiful on the long side? No. The rally in IBB XBI could stall out any minute, but we just didn't want to get caught short here, even with financials, which are red here, frankly. But look at retail squeezing hard. So you can kind of see the back and forth here. Semiconductors, that's not much of an inspired bounce today. So a little bit of a mixed tape. I did go along Texas Roadhouse, like this chart here. It might be pushing that upper Bollinger Band, but I do think the weekly chart, it recovered well from earnings, and the weekly chart, frankly, looks explosive. The market acts constructively. Texas Roadhouse, I think, is a leader, because look at the other steakhouses. Bloomin', not quite as impressive. Outback Steakhouse owner basing above the 200-day moving average. Del Frisco's high end. If that ever gets going above 17, 16, 15, 17, that could work. And then Ruth Chris's, also not nearly as good as Texas Roadhouse. This was an ugly earnings candle, I think. But if it regroups here, and you can see they're all up today, I think Texas Roadhouse is the leader. Boston Scientific and Medical Devices, not bad, kind of flattish today. BCR, good day. Again, a little steep. Maybe they rotate down to this guy. So Intuitive Surgical, ISRG, on my long radar, above the 20-day moving average, the orange line again, 628, 629. Might go long. CSII, more speculative play. Nice to see a clear 15 in the medical device play. And a line, again, popped up and will fade. So looking at ISRG and CSII as a little more speculative plays. Facebook, Amazon, still your pocket aces, pocket kings. Look at Amazon. Just an absolute beast. So that's where the action is pretty much today. Some of these China names got whacked. Weibo, Sina on the Baidu gap down there. So those guys are off the radar for now. QSR still dragging in. As far as fast food, Wendy's earnings this week. Let's reevaluate after. Sonic trying to bounce back, but a little bit of damage there. And PayPal, not bad. You want to see clear 40 VNTV, not bad either. Obviously, the market's saying that while Square, frankly, gets taken out back, that PayPal and VNTV are kind of eating their lunch. So that's what we have going on. As far as metals and miners, harsh shakeout, GDX, metals miners, let's let them set up. GDX, gold miner ETF 23 and then 2150 below are key levels. Again, for me to go long the minors now, I'd like to see the UUP, the dollar, flip back red. It's still in bounce mode, inverse relationship. So as much as I like Barrick and Newmont, again, and U.S. Steel, and as much as I like these guys, it's not, a pact. You're not making a pact to go down with the ship in the Titanic. You let them reset. Stillwater, Tech. We've played all these guys previously on the run up. We just didn't want to look at Tech. Just look at the purple line. You base out, you break out, and then you kiss back and check back. That's even though it's down 10% or so at the moment, it seems really harsh, but you got to be objective. And if you're trading around these things, it enables you to be objective. You say, look, we think we could be in a bear market bottom, but this is the real test. Do we make a higher low or not? Again, I want to see the dollar roll over. Look at crude even below 1080. The dollar stays strong. Crude might be in a little bit of trouble. Natty's still churning, a little bit neutral, a little bit of a heartbreaker, frankly, all things considered. I'm sure Horizon gapping up and Teva are helping kind of sentiment in the healthcare plays as well, in addition to biotech XLV. So, again, for the most part, laying off the short side at the moment. A lot of names like Chipotle, which had chances to break down, they're just not breaking down now. So, even Apple, a little bit of a falling wedge. Who knows if that thing's going to bounce? There's no need to force it in there on the short side. Long ideas, Adobe is still kind of basing here as a mature name as well. Mature tech name, not bad. Coach trying to regroup. That'd be interesting. With retail, again, Coach still, one of the better retail charts out there compared to Macy's, Nordstrom, even those guys are bouncing as we expected. Express, those guys you can see failed and trying to regroup. Tiffany, they're all trying to bounce. Coach, to my eye, one of the better setups out there. So there we go. We're just taking what the market gives us. We're not forcing it in there. Let's just take what the market gives us here. Letter A gapped up and faded there. Interesting action in the steakhouse chains within the specific category of the restaurants. I'm looking to see again, will Bloomin' and the whole gang, will they follow suit? Bloomin', a real interesting name here. Outback Steakhouse owner, above 1955 or so. Wacky candle, but again, interesting group here. Could be bottoming. So interesting little rounding bottom potential pattern there. So, all right, update with everything on the feed this afternoon. Thank you.